Hello guys, it's me again. In the previous video, I've showed this review for a Timemore Nano. So I've talked about there's some kind of misalignment problem at the outer burst. So today we're gonna have a deeper look into the misalignment problem and what can we do to fix it a little bit. So you can see now I'm removing the black ring, so the outer burst you can actually take it out. It's not fixed to the body, what I've said previously. So you can just use two sharp tools like I'm using now and anchor it at a correct position, and you can turn clockwise to take this black ring out. So here's it, you can see the outer burst. The outer burst you can take it out also. So I'm just gonna pop it out right now so you can see it. So you can see the outer burst it's taken out. You can also clean it more effectively using this method, because it's pretty hard to clean it just using this little brush. So now I'm going to show you exactly what is causing the misalignment problem. So you can see the outer burst, when it's put into the body, you can actually move it a little bit to the left and right. So the problem is it's not machined tightly into the body. So when you grind your beans, there's friction causing to the outer burst to move in the clockwise or counterclockwise direction. I don't really remember, but because of this problem, it's gonna be moving left and right, and you can see in this little trick what I've did before, and because it's not machined tightly, when you spin the grinder, you can actually see the outer burst. It's moving a little bit left and right. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it now also. Just a tiny little bit, but it's noticeable. So actually, this is not the problem of my grinder only. Because of the way it's designed, I think there's a similar problem for other Timemore Nanos also. So I've used a little trick to make it more, to prevent it from moving left and right. So you can see there's a little space on the top. Yeah, I'm pointing it now. You can see the little space. Now it's moving left and right. So you can use the little space and put something in to prevent the outer burst from moving. So I've used a paper clip. You can see I've used a scissors to cut it into half. So it's in the perfect shape of the around the size of the space. So I can put the paper clip inside now. So, but make sure you make it perfectly aligned first before you put the paper clip inside, or maybe other things that are hard enough. So I've used a toothpick before, but because toothpick it's made of wood and it's kind of soft, you don't want to use soft materials because it won't give you good results. So I'm just pushing it a little bit more to make it go deep inside, so the outer burst it won't move, or move a little bit less actually. So I'm just a little bit of disappointment again. I don't know why Timemore designed the grinder in this way, because it's not. I don't think it's a really difficult thing to make it the machine tightly. So really don't understand why they don't fix this little problem. So now you can see when I put force into the outer burst, it's not moving at all, or maybe just a tiny bit, but you can't really notice it in the camera. So you can see now the misalignment problem is gone. Maybe there's just a tiny little bit of misalignment, but it's much better than before, and my hands are shaking a little bit. But if you notice the outer burst, it's now turning in a concentric way with the body, so it's much better than before. So you can play around with other materials you like, but I think a paper clip works perfectly for me. So now I'm just gonna put this ring back on, so you can see the results later. Because when you when you finish this modification, this little improvement works, you need to test it a little bit. You need to grind coffee beans with your grinder later, so you can see whether it's the misalignment problem is gone or it's still actually here. So I'm gonna put it back, put the little black ring. It's actually quite tricky to put it back into place because the threads, it's kind of hard to get it into position. So just have a little bit of patience and you can put it back easily. So just lock it in using the two tools like before. So now I'm just gonna show you again. See, the ring is turning perfectly, the outer burst. It's not moving left and right anymore. So it's a pretty good sign. So here I'm going to just put all the parts together again, so I can grind coffee beans later to check its performance. Because just like what I've said before, if you put it back together and you grind coffee, the coffee is gonna put force into the outer burst. So you want to see whether after grinding, whether the misalignment problem is gonna happen again. So I'm just gonna assemble it back together and grind some coffee. But to be honest, after fixing the misalignment problem, I can't really taste a big difference in taste wise, and the grinds, they look pretty similar also. But it's just very bothering to see the misalignment problem, and it will cause some contact with the inner burrs and outer burrs when you use espresso. Use espresso range to grind. So I think it's still a better choice to fix the misalignment problem. So I think the grinder is, I don't know, because when I use filtered coffee like V60, it tasted a little bit of muddy. And even though when you grind coffee, it seems very consistent, if you look closely, there's a lot of those fines. So I don't know whether it's the problem of the blade or not, but there's a good news. I've ordered a Comandante C40 for my Christmas gift. And so I'm going to compare the Timemore Nano, its performance, with the Comandante C40. So please look forward to the new video for the comparison. Because C40 obviously it's a top-notch performance grinder, right? So I want to see whether it's going to be much better than the Timemore Nano or not. So you can see I'm finished with the grinding. And I'm going to just show you again whether there's a misalignment problem again. So I'm going to just dial it all into 0. You can see just now I'm turning all the way clockwise and dial it to 0. And now I'm moving 6 steps from 0. So this is the range where you usually don't want to grind your coffee. It's too fine for espresso also. But you can see it's turning smoothly. Because if you remember in the last video, when I used 8 steps, it can't really turn smoothly because the burrs are having contact. But now even at 6 steps, they are moving perfectly. So this is a little improvement you can do for your grinder if you're using Timemore Nano. Yeah, so that's the end. Thank you.